You know, buzzwords in any kind of gardening is water-wise watering. And I'm with Alfred Dinsdale from Dinsdale Landscape Contractors. And you have really some help for us because we're always trying to really conserve water and not water the sidewalks or the streets. So you have a new product.
That's right, we do. We're here today installing a type of soaker hose. This is a professional grade soaker hose. It's an awesome mile product. It's similar to the type that you would find in a retail outlet like Home Depot. It's a much thicker, it's a much stronger material. It also has a very accurate output, so you get the same water at the end of the line that you do at the beginning of the line.
That's nice.
It is, yeah. Some of the other hoses, you'll get most of it in the first 10 feet and then not much at the end.
Sure.
Right here, this is a kind of a setup that I have that's just kind of various fittings. We use a very straightforward off the shelf from the hardware store. This is a 1/2-inch gray barb fitting that fits right into the hose. We have a hose clamp to secure it. Here we're doing a retrofit, so we're attaching onto an existing system. They had a drip system in here with poly tubing, spaghetti line emitters, all of that. We've pulled all that out. We're now laying the hose down. We're spacing it about 24 inches apart, which is kind of what's recommended for our clay soils here. We have attached on to the existing system using just a thread to barb adapter. They've run the hoses now through the existing plants. We try to get as close to the plants as we can. We're trenching this in. They're just using a trowel or a light hoe to make about an 1.5 to 2-inch furrow. Set the hose in. We place staples along the hose to hold it in place. It's just a simple jute staple available off the shelf. And then we cover that, and then the mulch goes down over the top of that so that the tubing ends up at about 2 to 3 inches down.
So it sounds pretty simple, and you really can lay it out. It's just a little bit of work. But what I love about it is, you know, less watering or less times to water, because you have to put it on for quite a long time to get that root zone watered. Yeah,
it's a very slow water being emitted by the tubing. Roughly speaking, it's about a gallon per hour per foot of tubing at about 30 psi. But it can run at very low rates. Typically, when we connect these systems, if they're connected to a hose bib, we'd recommend that you just barely crack the hose bib until you hear water going through. It takes a while for the hose to fill and water to reach the full length, but then you want to let it run for several hours so you get a good deep watering. It's applying it nice and slow so it can soak in, unlike sprayers that are going to put it on the surface. It's going to run off. You're going to lose a lot of the water that you put on. Plus, you're wetting the plants, which can make problems. You get mildew and other things going on. But with this, you're applying direct to the root zone. You're doing it a lot less often. My established beds at home, I water maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks, but I'll give them a 4 to 5 hour watering, and they'll water deep. That also encourages the roots to go deep and makes the plants much hardier in the long run.
And especially during hot parts of the summer, when those roots are way down there, they really are a lot happier than if they're right in the topsoil.
That's right. I haven't watered my beds yet this year. They're just getting to the point now where they're starting to show a little stress, and that's what I look for. I have certain plants that I watch, my hydrangeas, excellent indicator plants. They start to droop a little bit as they start to run out of water, and then I know it's time to run my system, and I'll let it run good until I see water on the surface and I know that they're good and wet. And then I leave it off until I see that stress again.
Yeah, you know, sometimes we want to see the topsoil wet, and it's like that's not really a good thing because that's really kind of a waste of water. So maybe dig down and kind of see where that water exactly is.
That's right. Nothing replaces just checking it out physically and looking, digging in to see how deep the water is and how the soil is. You know, the drawback on this system is that you don't see that water on the surface, so you have to kind of go on faith that it's working, but even better than faith is to dig in and really check it out.
Right. But I think in the long run you'll see that your plants are happy and you'll see less in your water bill, which makes everybody happy.
Absolutely. A lot less water usage.
Well, if you have any other questions, please go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to their website and you can find out more information. Well, thanks so much. It's a great product.
Oh, thank you. Our pleasure.